For generations, people have been forced out of their home countries seeking a second chance at life elsewhere. The number of mentally ill refugees has increased over the years as living conditions have become worse. Refugees fled from living constantly in fear of being persecuted because of their race, religion, nationality, or beliefs. Today, Australia is the only country to imprison asylum seekers in prison-like detention centres for months on end while necessary background and security checks are completed. This mandatory detention by the Australian government is unnecessary considering the traumatic experience they have just gone through on their journey to Australia. In a research done in 1998 by the Human Rights and Equal Opportunity Commission, it was found that mental health of refugees became worse when detained after prior experiences of trauma and the stresses created by the treacherous journey by boat from their home country. Not only is their mental health affected before they move to Australia, but also once they arrived and are trying to resettle into the community. This is mainly due to racial discrimination within the society and the insecurity of occupation and the fear of being deported at any time. We're aiming to assist refugees with the required help to allow them to successfully resettle into the Australian society and have a bright future without the added stress of resettlement. Presently, there are not enough services attending to the issue of mental health arising from the journey and from the social exclusion refugees experience once arrived in Australia. Mental health is a bigger issue than you would think, and without the correct services assisting refugees, Australia will suffer from the consequence of not doing anything in the future. Pain is real, but so is hope, and we promise you dedication to hope, healing, and recovery.
Organization for Refugee is a non-profit, non-government organization registered as an incorporated association in Australia. It is supported by the Excellent Members Project against government agents, medical center, and the psychological service center. The activity in MHOR are decided by its members, and the funding is plenty for long-term running. The members are from different countries and obtain good education backgrounds of various subjects. As a public social organization, this organization has a comprehensive regulation to ensure an effective execution. MHOR can help the government remediate and manage the critical concerns about refugee mental health. The work and the duty of this organization contains three key areas: public supports and support for the refugees, community education, and administration. The association is further divided into several small groups according to the demand of service.
There are two ways of getting mental health. For example, during the journey of the enter to Austria by little boat and after accepting into Austria get disease from racism. Refugees are normally come to Austria by little boat and that boat do not have any good facility for safety. Refugees must stay on that little boat with too many people and danger from ocean. Stay on the ocean without any safety service is able to have trauma. From that mental disease, refugees are facing on depression, self-harming, and suicide. In addition, after successfully arrived in Austria, but refugees are still facing on danger from racism. Austria has racism on everywhere. However, that racism is strong and especially refugee. It is very dangerous on refugees' mental health because they have no place to go back. That is why government must provide great condition of mental health support for refugees. For example, refugees need professional counselor for healing the mental disease. Also, government better to support refugees on financially, but without teaching the value of money or how to live in Austria, then the financial support will be wasted, just like Aboriginal people suffering. Lastly, problems of racism are easily solved by normal people like us. Change the attitude that toward to refugee, better to understand or think background of refugee and why they decide to become refugee. From this little movement of change, refugees are able to live in better conditions.
Additionally, we strongly believe that parental support is fundamental assistance to accompany minors to recovery from their mental disorders caused by traumatic experience and prolonged detention. Unaccompanied minors are especially vulnerable because they are free from their country without their parents, and they have usually faced traumatic experience in their background. It is clarified by Australian Human Rights Commission, which investigated the reason the accompanied minors came to Australia. According to this investigation, 30% of accompanied minors responded they were faced with fear, danger threats, not safe and terrorism in their life. Also, other factors relate to injurious experience, which would contribute sense of trauma. However, under the recent immigration detention system, those accompanied minors need to recuperate and cope with the traumatic experience by themselves. Mental health disorder is not only caused by traumatic experience, but also prolonged detention will psychologically harm the accompanied minors. It is because the immigration detention system does not set particular time periods for how long they have to be detained. It is proved by Commonwealth Ombudsman, though 2 years investigation has shown that long periods of living in a detention service links to refugees' mental illness. This lack of support for counseling unaccompanied minors and psychological burden evoke the sense of isolation, which will cause mental health disorders and attempt to self-harms. In order to prevent this, we provide guidance for unaccompanied minors. The guardians will listen to their worries and help for recuperating traumatic experience with tender care.
We are MHR Mental Health Organization for Refugees, an organization that helps fund the service. For instance, we will help refugees and prevent them from becoming socially excluded, and we will provide opportunities in education, counseling, and therapy to make the service culturally understandable. We are aimed at making the refugees successfully resettle into Australian society and have a bright future without stress. What's more, to celebrate the integration into the country. Beyond all doubt, we will try many efforts to give hand to the refugees. We deeply believe that everybody should have the opportunity to have access to high quality education and lifestyle. However, mental issues have acted as a barrier for refugees to successfully resettle into Australia. Mental health mainly includes two aspects. One aspect is about the impact of the both on mental and the traumatic experience at home, and the other one is mental health issues arising from the social exclusion one arrived at in Australia. What's worse, if there is no additional funding in the session and the refugees are not adjusted in the correct manner, the refugees may become antisocial, which will be serious consequence that nobody wants to see. In this case, what we believe can only be achieved by more donation and helping refugees face these issues. Therefore, the attention and the support will be a great comfort not only for us but also for the refugees. If you would like to get involved and help, you can donate to MHR $1 or $2. Many hands-made light work, and the accumulation of little amount of donation is a lot more in the gender scale of things. Moreover, the donations will go into funding the service provided to refugees and improve the quality of counseling and therapy and education. Volunteering to be guardian and teacher will also be effective for the refugees. Thank you for watching the video.